Hi, it's Monday the 23rd of September 2024. I'm in Hawes and I'm continuing my walk from Land's End to John O'Groats. So this stage of the walk, I'm spending 7 days walking up to Haltwhistle, and when I get to Haltwhistle, I'll be catching a train back home for about a week before continuing on to Scotland. And for the next couple of days I'm walking to Appleby in Westmoreland, and I was hoping to wild camp going up there, but looking at the map it's very difficult because after Kirkby Stephen, which is about halfway, there's a lot of agricultural land. So I thought the best thing was just walk up to a really nice wild camping spot today. And then Kirkby Stephen, there's a few affordable hotels, so I'll be walking there tomorrow, staying in a hotel. And then from Kirkby Stephen to Appleby, it's about an 11-mile walk, and I'll be staying in a hotel in Appleby. I'm only doing about 7 miles today. I could have tried walking to Kirkby Stephen in one day. It's about 18 miles, which I guess I could have done, but I don't really like doing more than 15 miles in a day, because any more than that it starts turning into quite a long day. So after about 14-15 miles I just like to put the tent up and just drink coffee and listen to the radio for the rest of the day. So today I'm just going up to, I think it's just on the other side of this valley, then I'll be camping up for the day. And I think it's going to be quite a wet day today anyway, so it'd be nice to get the tent up before it starts pouring down. Just started pouring down, but I found a nice camping spot, so I'm just sheltering out of the rain for now, and then later on this afternoon I'm just going to have a little wander around. This is a bit of a boggy area again, but yesterday afternoon I found quite a nice spot to camp. This is a place called Dyke. I think it may be the name of that old ruined farmhouse just over there, and it's just on the Pennine Bridle Way. So the Pennine Way, that's for hikers, that's just to the east of here, but this is the Pennine Bridle Way. This is a route across the Pennines for horse riders and off-road cyclists. So I'm following the Bridle Way towards Kirkby Stephen this morning. It's very wet yesterday afternoon. I'm hoping it'll clear up a bit today. I think it's just going to be showers and sunshine. Just approaching a very interesting looking sculpture. Placed in a very scenic setting overlooking the valley. So according to my Komoot app, This sculpture is by Mary Bourne, and it is one of 10 sculptures commissioned and placed along the Vale of Eden. They were created by different artists with the brief to create works that form seats and work in cohesion with the river. This sculpture is made of 2 different pieces of local limestone. So from here, it's about a 7-mile walk along the valley down to Kirkby Stephen. There is a path which follows the River Eden into Kirkby Stephen, but I've decided to take the road route because it's getting quite dark now. I think it's going to be a lot more rain this afternoon, and yesterday afternoon in the southeast England they had as much rainfall in one day as they normally get for the whole of September, which is quite ominous really, because last winter was one of the wettest winters on record in the UK. And that's what really sort of delayed my little walk, because a lot of the footpaths in southwest England and South Wales were just literally underwater. So I'm hoping it doesn't become the same this when I head into Scotland. I've still got my plan B if it does get too wet. I think I might just temporarily stop the Lejog walk and head over for sunnier climbs for a little bit, and then come back and continue this when the weather's better. But I'm going to see what the weather becomes like on the way up to Haltwhistle. Just approaching Kirkby Stephen, so I guess I must have left Yorkshire now, and I'm in Cumbria and the sun's just come out. Just arrived in the centre of Kirkby Stephen, so now I'm just going to check into my hotel and then get some food for my walk to Appleby tomorrow. Today I'm just doing an 11-mile walk to Appleby. I'm just heading towards the River Eden, and there's a path that goes right into the town along there. Just arrived in Appleby. I've booked 2 nights at the hotel, so tomorrow I'll be just wandering around exploring the town. I think it's going to rain tomorrow as well, so that's quite good timing, because I think when I go hiking again it should start getting a bit drier. So I'm now going to head over to the hotel and settle down for the night. It's a bit of a wet day today for my little walk around the town, but I think it's going to clear up later on. So Appleby is quite a historic town. The Vikings were living along this part of the River Eden in the 9th century, and then in the 12th century the Normans came. They built a castle at the top of the hill. Well, I'm just going to wander up there now. In this part of the town, this is Boroughgate, and this was the centre of the old medieval town. And this is where they had a very busy market here, which is why I guess the street is quite wide. And at the bottom of Boroughgate there's a cross there that's called the Low Cross. I think that was put there in the 18th century, and at the top of the road is another cross, naturally, called the High Cross. I think that dates back to the 17th century. I'm just going to have a wander up there now. So the Normans decided to build a castle here because this part of the river, it's quite a strategic position. The river forms a big loop around the town, and that formed a kind of natural moat around the town. And the castle is on a very defendable high point, and it overlooks a ford, or it's a very easy crossing point across the river. So this was quite a strategic position for the Normans to have a town. So I'm wandering up to the castle now. It's in private grounds. I don't know if you can get into the grounds just to have a look at the castle. I know to get into the castle you've got to pay for a guided tour, and I'm not really interested. I don't really like guided tours, they get a bit boring. So I'm just going to see if I can just have a wander around the old Norman keep. At the top of Boroughgate is High Cross, and this dates back to 1670. This is the view looking down Boroughgate towards the town centre again. And just up here is the gate to the castle grounds. So I'm hoping to have a wander around in there. Yeah, the grounds are open today. So the Norman part of the castle dates back to around 1095, when they first started digging the deep ditches around the castle. So just going to have a wander around. So the Norman keep part of the castle is known nowadays as Caesar's Tower, and the actual stone keep, they built that from around 1170 onwards. It's a very typical Norman keep. It reminds me of when I was in Rochester a few months ago. The keep there, it looks very similar to that, and also the Tower of London. It's a very similar square type of keep. The wall which surrounds the castle keep, I'm not sure how old that is. I know all these other buildings, these are much more recent. There's a big mansion there, that's a hotel. So I assume that the River Eden, the loop of the river, that would have acted as a natural moat for the west, north and east side of the town. And the castle, that would have protected the south side of the town, and it looked down onto the river where the river crossing was as well. Just going to pop back down to Boroughgate and have a look at the buildings in the town centre. Halfway down Boroughgate there's a group of buildings. It's known as St Anne's Hospital or Lady Anne's Almshouses, and these are 13 cottages and a chapel and a small garden, and these were built late in 1653. Lady Anne Clifford had these cottages built for single or widowed women. Just going to have a look around the centre. So this is the garden at the centre of the houses, and these are the almshouses. Very pleasant place to live nowadays, I guess. And at the bottom of Boroughgate is St Lawrence Church. So St Lawrence's Church in the town centre dates back to the late 11th century, although it's been modified over the centuries. And in the centre of the town is Moot Hall. And this building dates back to 1596, and it was used as a council chamber, and it's still used as a council chamber today. And on the building there's a date stone showing 1179, and this is when the first royal charter was granted to the town by King Henry II. Well, I think I'm going to get back in my nice warm dry hotel room. I might have a look at the town again tomorrow morning before I leave. Tomorrow I'm heading up to Cross Fell. It's quite a high point in the Pennines. I'll be camping up there, which I'm quite looking forward to. And it's about a 12-mile walk, so I might leave about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. I think I've got plenty of time to get up there before sunset. So just going to settle down now and then get ready for my walk for tomorrow. Today I'm heading up to a high point called Cross Fell, where I'll be camping tonight. So Cross Fell, I think it's 893 metres high, and it's the highest point in England outside of the Lake District. So I'm sort of going up. There's a ridge that follows the way up. It's one peak after another. It's a long ridge which follows the Eden Valley, so I should get some nice views going up there. And I think the weather today is going to be fairly dry, but there may be a strong northerly wind tonight, so I may have to camp on the south side of the hill just to get away from the wind. So I made the decision that when I get to Haltwhistle, I'm going to call off my walk to John O'Groats until next spring, partly because of the rain. Southern England over the last couple of days some parts of England just had their wettest September on record, and this morning part of the M5 motorway was closed due to flooding, and it's only September, so it's not looking good. It looks like it's going to be like last winter, when it's a really muddy walk through the southwest of England. And also because when I get to Scotland, when I'll be hiking in Scotland in November, I'll need a lot of really cold weather gear, because what the gear I've got is not really for sub-zero temperatures. So I need a new sleeping bag and a new jacket and new rucksack, because my rucksack's just a cheapy thing. It's not very good for carrying a lot of weight. And I worked out that to get kitted out for Scotland, it's going to cost the best part of £1,000. So I thought, well, why not just call it a day at Haltwhistle and then pop down to Spain for the winter. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'll be stopping at Haltwhistle, heading down to Santander in a couple of weeks' time, and then I hope to be doing a YouTube video from Spain in about a month's time. Just arrived in a small village called Dufton, so from here I'll start heading up onto the Cross Fell Ridge. I think the first high point I'm going to is called Knock Fell. I think that's High Scald Fell, just on the right. I think I'm following this path just around it up to Knock Fell on the other side. Starting to get some nice views. Just arrived at Knock Fell. It's getting a bit cloudy, unfortunately. That's the way I'm heading now. I'm heading up to Great Dun Fell and then up to Cross Fell. And looking over this way, that's the Eden Valley where I've just come up from. And on the other side I can make out the Lake District, very mountainous horizon. I'm hoping that the sun might come out again today. I can get some better footage. So we're going to carry on up to Great Dun Fell. Just arrived at Great Dun Fell. There's a radar station here. It belongs to the Civil Aviation Authority. They use it for air control in this area. I'm about 13 miles now from where I'm stopping tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to Alston, so a little town to the north of here, and I'm staying in a hotel. So I'm well within my range for walking tomorrow, so I'm going to start looking for a camping spot. It's a bit breezy up here, so I'm going to look for a nice secluded spot out of the wind. So the next high point along the ridge is Little Dun Fell, where I'm heading down to now, and then just beyond that is Cross Fell. Just arrived at Little Dun Fell. That's Cross Fell just over in the distance. This is looking south towards the Eden Valley again. So I've got three options for camping tonight. I'm hoping to find just down in the valley. I'm hoping to find a nice spot there. If not, I'm just going to load up with water and I'm going to go up to Cross Fell. I'm going to camp up there tonight because the wind isn't too bad, and of course I've got my super duper Hillyberg tent, which is designed for windy weather, so I think I'll probably do that instead. And also, if it's really stormy weather, on the other side of Cross Fell there's a bothy called Greg's Hut, but I don't really fancy going that far this afternoon because I only have about 8 miles to walk tomorrow and I'll get to the hotel too early. So I'm just going to go down into the valley and see if I can find a camping spot. I think this stream is called the Crowdundle. It's a bit boggy around here again, but I found a decent camping spot just next to the stream. And there's internet access here as well, so I can listen to digital radio tonight. I've got a lovely view overlooking the Eden Valley. So I hope tomorrow morning it's going to be quite clear because I'll be going up to Cross Fell and I hope to get some nice views up there tomorrow morning. So for now, I'm just going to settle down and listen to some digital radio. So until tomorrow morning, good night. Not a bad morning. It's fog free, which is good news. So now I'm just going to pack up and then head up to Cross Fell. Just approaching the top. I read that on a clear day from here you can see the Solway Firth to the northwest of here in Carlisle. So I guess that on a clear day you could just see Scotland from up on Cross Fell. Very handy windbreak here. Yeah, it's a bit hazy today, but I think I can just make out the Solway Firth way out in the distance. And that's looking out towards the Lake District again. Yeah, I guess I could have camped up here last night. I just couldn't be bothered to bring a load of water up here. So just going to have a little rest and then start heading down to Alston. I'm not using my trekking poles today because I lost my gloves yesterday morning. It's not a big deal, they're the kind of gloves you get in Poundland, so I can easily get another pair. But I must have put them down somewhere when I was having a rest. But it just means that it's quite chilly this morning, so I'm keeping my hands in my pockets a lot of the time. I'm heading down to have a look at Greg's Hut Bothy. And Greg's Hut Bothy, it's the highest bothy in England. It's about 700 metres. And I think the story behind it, there used to be a lot of lead mining in this area. And the bothy, it's a small, like a small building, and it used to be a blacksmith forge. And it's where the miners used to live. And nowadays it's for, like, if hikers want to spend the night there, if it's a very stormy night. It's mid-morning now, so hopefully it'll be empty and I can just have a quick video inside it. Not a bad morning today. I think I'm quite lucky with the weather. There's another lot of windy, wet weather coming into the UK in a couple of days' time, so I hope I'm in Haltwhistle by then. I think today, tomorrow should be quite dry. Yeah, there's no one here at the moment, so I can have a little look around with the camera. This is the main rest room. And this is the sleeping area. So very handy on a very stormy night. And very nice views from here as well. Just arrived in the centre of Alston. Just in time, actually. It looks like it's going to start raining pretty soon, so just going to check into my hotel. Then tomorrow I continue to Haltwhistle. So today is quite an easy walk. It's about 13 miles to Haltwhistle, but I'll be following a disused railway line. It's a trail now. Nowadays it's known as I think it's the South Tyne Trail. So I'll just be following that, so I don't need a map today. So just 13 miles, nice flat walking today. My mistake, it's not entirely disused. There's still a heritage railway company which operates part of it. So I think in the summer, it's called South Tyndale Railway Company, and I think in the summer they have a steam train going up and down here. This is Lamley Viaduct. Just arrived in the centre of Haltwhistle, and this is where I conclude my 2024 hike across the UK. So in a few days time I'm off down to Southern Europe, and then I'll be back here next spring to continue my walk up to John O'Groats. So thank you again for watching my video, and I hope to upload another one soon. Bye.